Welcome to Henry's Off-Road Travels. In this series, join Sharon and me as our long-term plans of crossing Australia is finally realised. We have 4 months to explore and find out whether the West is really the best. We travel with friends in our new Land Cruiser 300 and fully off-road caravan. I hope you enjoy our travels as much as we do. Good morning, Australia. Today is the 28th of September. It's a Saturday, AFL Grand Final Day. I'm having some health issues, but that's all right. My wife still likes to drag me away from hospital bed. Today we have
indigestion. He's eating too much crap.
It's spicy foods. I have to give up all my curries now. I was watching a video on buffalo wings, and I think that's what's caused it.
Watching the video?
Yeah. We've just left our accommodation in Broken Hill for the day.
Yep, we're staying at the Broken Hill Outback Resort.
Yep. And got a beautiful sunny day. We're off to Silverton today. We've left Broken Hill. And we are out
Exploring.
Travel's about half an hour or so, not too far. There's a few things to see out there. Apparently there's a mine tour that we're doing. A couple of other things, so it won't be, I don't think, a particularly long day. I've said that before. Turns out to be quite the opposite. But it's a lovely day at the moment, and should be good. Had a couple of cool nights, so Broken Hill hasn't disappointed us in that sense. It is unusual for this time of the year for them. They've had a bit of a run of cold and wet days the last week, but that's usually out of the ordinary. We have got just today, and we are out tomorrow, leaving New South Wales, a brief stay in New South Wales, which has only really been a week, if that. This time last week we were arriving, actually not quite, we were just about to leave Coffs Harbour and head towards Tamworth.
The Coffs Harbour's in New South Wales as well, so.
It is, correct. So just over a week. And now we're heading towards the Victorian South Australian area. But that's in the next couple of days, or the next day. Today is another day of adventure before dementia.
Doing a good job.
That's why you're in front.
I learned a lesson. Next time Henry will go in the front.
I'll have to make sure that next time I'm driving so Sharon doesn't. The historic Daydream mine near Silverton provides a glimpse of what mining was like in the early days before Broken Hill was discovered. The mine operated from 1882 until 1983. There are 2 guided tours that explore what is above the ground, the machinery used, shelter, and the abundance of flora that was natural or brought in by Cornish miners. The tours lasted about 90 minutes.
Through this bush, why? That's said to be the best sheep feed of any feed in the world, and that's saltbush. Anybody figured out why they would have dug that hole there? Wasn't getting tall. They've chased in iron carbon. You see the iron carbons that's going to go out crop? And they found them out cropping, they chased them down underground. And here at the Daydream mine, they chased 4 kilometres, they done it all hammer and tap. One miner held a chisel, shaking, the other 2 miners are going to hit it with a sledgehammer by candlelight. It's wild hop. So what are they going to make out of wild hop? They all beer. I've seen this after big rains behind wire where it's waist high, full of head. This latter period was to come along and start fencing them off. And what we had, a problem, was the fact that the kangaroos would go down and lay where it's nice and cool. The walls were still pretty intact, but he put timber and fencing, whitewash, flour, water and limestone to make up the whitewash. Canned food that they ate out of, came in from England, it was sold with lead. Lead sealed cans. Was that going to be good for their health?
Oh yeah.
What about us older ones? You're going to school, high school, we're doing the exam paper, remember them days?
Yeah,
And you're there biting the pencil trying to work out the answer?
the lead. Yeah.
Were we biting lead? Yep. No, we weren't. It was graphite.
Graphite. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you girls are not using it. Let's do
What's this? About the opium.
Well, that's why we stopped here. Talk about the opium.
And termites don't like it?
The second tour descends beneath the earth to walk the same tunnels that Cornish silver miners did in the 1880s. These miners worked 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and all by the light of candles held in wall-gripping handle holders called spiders. Thankfully today, electric lights and head towards zone use. Guides provide plenty of fascinating details about life in the mines and the harsh conditions miners endured. The tunnels are quite narrow and the ceilings low, and not recommended for anyone uncomfortable in confined spaces.
So let's go and see what they used to do. Now make sure you walk sideways from where I am.
These heights were quite suitable for the Cornish miners, who are generally smaller than most of us today.
Down here, about 8-year-old kids over 135 years ago. Every rock you see around you. If you like to look up to your left, you can see how wide the ore body here once was. A little over 17 feet wide, which is actually quite substantial for a habitat back in the day. Again, stacked bottom to top of rocks by 8-year-old Cornish kids over 135 years ago. As you make your way down this drive here, you'll see all these declines going down to your right, some of which are dead ends.
Mining methods was mostly by hammer and chisel back in those days, tapping holes and then firing them. Miners did not leave the workings for firings.
Yep. Exactly right. Yep. This is ever since 83. This area here had a fairly rich in iron and 10 years. Or you have 2.75 years in iron, so it's one of those.
Came back, I read about it, and I read about polymer. I thought it was
What? Yeah, I'm sure do.
oh yeah.
Yep.
It's flat.
Yeah.
Picky boys, lads as young as 8 years old, but mainly 14 to 15 years old, would hand pick the ore after a firing and bag the ore from underground, and then pick silver from these findings above ground.
But does anyone know why the cryptium was created?
Rats.
What was it preventing?
Rats.
Rats, exactly right. Now, these Cornish guys are famous for a lot of things. What's one of them?
Pasties.
The pasty. Now, do you guys know the original name or the original way the Cornish pasty was made?
Half and half.
Half and half of what?
Half dessert, which is probably apple,
Yep.
and the rest was meat or vegetables, probably just vegetables.
Now, I want to know, because not many people know what you just said. Where'd you read that from? Where'd you hear it from?
Over in
Blinman.
Blinman,
In Blimmin?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, there was a...
And we had one too.
You had one?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, not bad.
There's still a place in Moonta which sells them the same way.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the original name to it was Tibliogi, and it was made with meat and veg on one side and fruit on the other, again, usually apple. Now, something crazy, and I went down the biggest rabbit hole trying to find this because I didn't know whether it was true. And now, these ladies in the tin fields in England used to cook these oggies, walk across the surface with a bell, yelling out, "Oggie, Oggie, Oggie." What do you think they yell back? How unbelievable was that? No, I'm serious, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Well, I thought that was BS when I first heard it, and I was the biggest rabbit hole trying to figure it out, and apparently they do. Even though it's much larger, it was only 65%. So it's fairly large. One guy holding this rod by two people on the outside swinging the hammers as hard as they can at this rod. He's going to spin that a quarter or half turn each time, acting as a drill. Drill 4 holes from each, stuff full of black powder, and then fuse them, which was also black powder wrapped up with cotton. Work out the length, usually 1 foot is 1 minute. They'll plug it in there, grab the spider out of the timber or off of a rock face, which is why it has a hook right there, bite their fuse and take off out of here. The distance they'd go, where that level 3 shafts was you seen just before when you looked up, that's as far as they go, waiting for it to blast. As soon as it's blasted, walked in here with the muck trays, pickaxes, shovels, breathing all that dust, the silica, which is causing that young death, and moving all out of here. And for a couple of days they'll be cleaning it out, the next couple of days they're hammering tapping again, the next couple of days they're blasting and doing the same thing over and over and over. It's all mining consisted of back then. You got to think that these people, all this you see around you was all hand dug by these people back then. How hard do you reckon that would have been? It's taken them ages. You know, in under 14 years alone, by hand, these guys got 97,000 tonnes of ore out of here. All under 14 years. Now, if that isn't hard work, mate, I tell you, I don't. We have no clue. And then you got the single tap, just like this, one person use with a smaller hammer. Now, over the past, I'd say month, you can see that I've started doing it in here. I've probably got the width of my finger. And this one here I sort of had to go at, but I ended up giving up. It's just unbelievable. You know, one person hitting, spinning, just constantly hitting and spinning. Now I'm not being real light with this either, but I'm doing pretty much bugger all. Literally, that's all it is. You got to give it to these people back then, you know, they were dedicated, they did what they did, and without them doing what they did back then, we wouldn't be where we are today. Simple. Or even with some of the knowledge that we have today, it's because of these people. And you'll find the people back then knew more about minerals than what most of us do today. Because there's other things that people do, they get interested in other things, and back then, all there really was mining and farming. So, and at the very top back of that rock, actually, you can see where it was attached. The rock also goes about 10 feet underground, and the bottom of it was sitting in this cavity that we are standing in right here.
It's pretty dark without any lights.
And just black that one right there out, that phone or whatever it is, anything that's got a light on it, just black it all out.
Most miners suffered failing eyesight and respiratory diseases during their mining lives. It was a surreal experience down in the mine and in the dust. It was not uncommon for me to be hitting my helmet on the roof as I crouched along the tunnels. After the tours, you can enjoy a hot drink and a plate of freshly baked scones at the on-site tea room. We now head down the road to Silverton. Silverton, also referred to as Silvertown, has a current population of around 60 people, but in the thriving days when silver and lead was discovered in 1883, its population increased from 250 to 3,000 residents. With the opening up of the Broken Hill mine, many relocated to the larger centre. Silverton continues to operate, attracting visitors to mining history, a surprising array of over 140 movies and TV series made in the area, and the home of many artists who live and work and display their works in galleries. Silverton is also the home of the Mad Max 2 museum. You get hot dogs here. can get hot dogs here.
Do you know where these trucks are? Yeah, I know. It's good when it works. Well, it's usually to operate.
The Mad Max 2 Museum is a private collection of memorabilia from the filming of the movie. It includes photos of crew and filming, actual and replica pieces of clothing, vehicles and props. There is a cost to enter, and for those into the Mad Max movies, you'll definitely get something out of the experience. Photography inside the museum was not permitted, only outside. Two wheels. Snake and wearing cricket bats. Church. The old courthouse. Now it's accommodation for 44 people. Monday lookout. This is the iconic road where Mad Max movie finishes. On our way back, we stopped off at Stevens Creek Reservoir, just down the road from the Outback Resort. Stevens Creek Reservoir and pumping station. It was too close not to visit and looked inviting on the maps.
Oh yeah, no, my hip doesn't like that.
No, yeah, but be careful. You're
Oh, that's only due to
all right, off you go.
I'm gonna fall.